Hi guys, my name is Laju. I share videos on lifestyle and career tips for health workers and immigrants moving and living in the UK. If you're new here, you are highly welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking with me and welcome back. In today's video, we'll be talking about relocation and relationships, conversations that couples should have before relocating or even after they have relocated. I'm really excited about today's video because I have with me a special guest appearance whom I will introduce to you guys soon. But before I introduce her, please go ahead to like my video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So today I have with me here Dr. Doyinsola Olaniyan, a colleague of mine. She's a wife, a mom, a twin mom, and she's passionate about love, marriage, and relationships. Thank you, Doyin, for coming here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Laju. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about relocation and relationships. A lot of people, especially in Nigeria, there's like an exodus of Nigerians going on right now. Many people are looking for a way out of Nigeria, but I feel like many people are not aware of the realities of relocating abroad and the impact it has on their relationships, their marriages and children and those kind of things. Hence the reason we are, having this discussion and just talk about it and make people aware of what it's really like when you relocate abroad with a family.
Thank you so much for thinking about having this conversation. We need to speak about these things, obviously, because some of the realities, nobody really prepared you for it. And you just get in there and start to find out, hey, it's not as easy as everybody has been saying it, but then it's doable. And that's why we need to have conversations like this.
Yeah. Yeah, rightly said. So, do you think relocating abroad, like this is like obvious, but do you think it affects, your relationship with your family, your children when you move
Hmm.
abroad? And how do you think it affects?
Okay, so let's say I would say that the dynamics definitely change, right? And when you move abroad, the realities are a bit different from being back home.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you don't manage that transition very well, it
Mm-hmm.
could have like a negative effect on your relationship with your partner, your relationship with your children, even your relationship with yourself, because it's almost as though you're trying to find yourself in a new land
True.
at an older age.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like in between a lot of things at the same time, discovering yourself, fitting into the new environment, adjusting to the culture. But
Yeah.
then you're not doing it on your own. There are other people that still depend on you.
On
There are other
you.
people that are still looking up to you. So yes, it does affect, and I think that it's important for us to know how to best navigate it so that we don't suffer the shorter end of the stick and get the negative sides of it. Yeah.
Yeah. True. Well said. So can you highlight some of the issues that couples face and families face when they decide to move abroad?
Hmm. Okay, so I would speak to the issues like in the lens of my own experience, in my own personal experience, because
Okay.
I cannot generalize because I've not been in everybody's shoes. But in the
Yeah.
context of moving abroad as a doctor,
Yeah.
and being married to someone who isn't a doctor, the
Okay.
realities were definitely different. I was coming into a job, meaning I had a job I was coming into. As a couple, we knew that it was a joint decision that we were going to make this move, and this was what we were going to be doing next for our family, and this is the next direction that we wanted to take.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned earlier, I was coming into a job. My husband in Nigeria was running a thriving business, which
Okay.
kind of meant that he was going to have to leave the business and literally find himself all over again. So the
Yeah.
realities for him were way different than it was because I was coming into paid employment. I kind of had a path that was already charted for me as I was moving abroad.
Mm.
But on the other hand, he was literally going to be coming in to find his footing, to find what the land has in stock for him, and to
Yeah.
find what he could fit into in this new environment, in this new culture.
Yeah.
So I think that one of the things that you would find is first, like, job experience in Nigeria, especially for someone who didn't work in paid employment and who
Mm.
wasn't working like in the professional lines and things,
Mm.
you need to embrace like a certain sense of flexibility in the beginning to know that, are you ready to retrain in another career path? Are
Mm.
you ready to what as like what are you must be your mind must be you must be flexible to change. That's the
Yeah.
first thing. Like, you can't hold any dogmas and say, oh, I worked in a bank when I was in Nigeria as a top
Yeah.
MD. So when I moved to this new environment, I just want management level positions, management
Mm,
level roles.
mm,
Those
mm.
kind of, I feel like those kind of unrealistic expectations are going to set you up for so much pain
Yeah.
because you literally need to stoop to conquer.
Mm,
That's the way I view it. You need to stoop to conquer in the beginning because so when we first moved, I came first, and then my husband came like a few weeks to like a month after,
mhm.
and we moved in the heat of like literally Corona was just starting when we
Oh,
kind of like moved,
yeah.
and then he was willing to actually now go into paid employment because like the realities of just coming into a new place and now starting business. I've
Mm,
not even gotten used to the culture, so I'm willing to like now dust up my qualifications and use it to get into paid employment.
yeah.
So we started applying to jobs and things, and then he got an interview. Like it was almost like, oh wow, the big break, the testimony that we've been waiting for. Like in few weeks, he had an interview and everything, and then he had to go to London for the interview. But he didn't get the job.
Mm,
And then we kept on applying, and then Corona came in,
mm, mm.
and then like it was like nobody was employing nobody. Like, do you understand?
Yeah.
And it was that flexibility in his mind that helped us navigate that season.
Mm,
And also the fact that I also needed to acknowledge his feelings. I also needed to acknowledge where he was. I also had to be compassionate to him. I also needed to make him know that I see you. I
yeah.
understand that this is not easy for you as well, because you can get so caught up in your own bubble. Like you're working a 9 to 5, you're jumping out, going to
Yeah.
work, and then you don't understand the emotions of the other person. Like this is not a child
Yeah. It's
settling in a
real.
new environment. This is someone that is older, that has dreams, that has goals, that has aspirations. And then it seems like you are going full blast in the direction of your own goals, and they are still trying to find their footing. So as you need to be sensitive to the emotions of your partner, you need to be sensitive to the emotions of your partner, because if you are not, it's going to require a lot of give and take. Because
Mhm,
if you are not, they can start to have this disillusioning sense of I'm in it all alone. Like
mhm,
you are fine, you're okay, and that is where conflict starts.
mhm.
When someone starts to feel like I gave it all up for us to be here,
Yeah.
and then you are thriving and I'm still struggling,
Mhm.
and you're not even acknowledging how I feel, you're not even showing empathy to my situation, you're not cheering me on, you're not even affirming me to say, I see you, I see the
Mhm.
sacrifices that you're making in this season.
Mhm.
This season will pass.
To pass.
Yes, this will definitely pass, and we will weather this storm. Like, so I feel like for the person who either is coming into a job, it's the responsibility is on you, whether you like it or not. You need to consciously avoid being selfish. You need to
Mhm.
consciously avoid being selfish, because it's very easy to get into that trap of selfishness. And then shortly after we came, then the kids came. They came like a few months after, and then they couldn't go into nursery almost immediately
Mm.
because they didn't have slots for them and things. And so my husband became kind of like a stay-at-home dad in
Yeah.
that season.
Childcare issues will come up.
Yes, because the childcare issue started like, and then I was seeing how much they were like. If we're going to try and go private to get childcare for them, I was seeing how much it was going to set us back. And given the fact that we at that point we only had one income,
Yeah.
so these are the necessary conversations that you need to prepare yourself to have. Like, and then marriage is a partnership. That's what I always say to people. If that is always at the back of your mind, it will help you navigate the waters better,
Yeah.
because they're not in my home. I'm not speaking, I don't know what obtains in other homes. In my home, there are no specific gender roles,
Mm.
in the sense that, oh, this is Joey's work and this is Ife's work. We complement each other. Everybody, you step up to the plate. When there's a gap that needs to be filled, you step up and you sort it out and you fix it, because it is partnership. We're complementary in our actions. So in that season where he had to be with the kids and be a stay-at-home father, it also was on the responsibility also became on me, that I had to be conscious of it and say, when I'm home over the weekend, I need to consciously say to him, you know what, don't worry, I will sort the kids out this weekend.
Yeah.
I would, if they are, I will do everything for the children this weekend. You take a break, do whatever you want to do guy stuff, do anything you want to do. If you just want to go shopping, go shopping. If you want to just take a stroll, take a stroll. If you want to take a walk, take a walk. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't worry, I will take care of the home front this weekend. Because it just gives the person a sense that we're in this together. I'm
Mhm.
not alone. I'm not fighting a lost battle. I'm not alone. And I think that that's also very important. Like navigating childcare is such a big deal because In Nigeria, support systems are
Everywhere.
everywhere. You have friends that will willingly take your kids off you.
Yeah.
You ship them to grandma for the weekend. All of those things that you could easily do. Especially when you move into an environment where you don't have friends. Like I came into somewhere where I didn't have friends. Like it's not like, oh, I had friends a stone throw away.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have any established support system. It's just now that we're starting to create like our own support system. I've made friends. I have colleagues at work that I can trust to say, oh, if I need to put my child in their house for a few hours, they would, and I can return the favor to for them at a later date. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's just now that we're starting to create those things. So those realities are things that you need to consciously like bear in mind. You stoop to conquer.
True. I
As
like
in,
that. You stoop to conquer because really these challenges, I feel like people don't talk about them enough, especially the childcare issues, because it's something that you don't face in Nigeria. Like you just find a way to sort out the children. But over here it is a real issue because the cost of childcare, cost of nursery schools and everything, it's even almost like the same as your salary if you're not careful, especially if it is one person working. And I can totally relate with your reality because I'm obviously in the same situation, even though I'm in a medical profession. But COVID also came along and everything was just on standstill for dentists, and also it's like, okay, what's the way forward? So I'm glad that we are talking about this. And like you said, something else you said that is very important. It is only a season. It is a phase. This too shall pass. We don't know when. Seasons are, they can be quite long, but we are trusting that it will pass. But being considerate in that, when you are in that season is so important because even like gender roles, like you mentioned, in my family, like initially we didn't really think too much about this. It was just like, oh, okay, since I'm at home, I take most of the responsibility and everything. But along the line, I started feeling the burnout. I started feeling tired. I started feeling like, oh, I'm all alone in this thing. But thankfully, I have a husband that is teachable also, and he was willing to learn, and we communicate with each other well. So I had to open up and say, okay, this is what is going on. Like, imagine if I was with someone that is not flexible, somebody that is like, well, it's your work or something. But my husband was willing to say, okay, what's I want you to be happy. Like this is not the girl I married. What's wrong with you? I was always looking like a drag, like tired and all. So my husband knew that, okay, we have to work on this. We have to do something. So he came into the picture more. He tried to be more supportive, and I think that is so important, especially for Nigerian men. I'm happy that your husband is someone like that, which is great because a lot of Nigerian men, they live like kings and they're not ready to come down from that Game of Thrones chair that they're sitting on. So yeah, thanks for highlighting this part. So what advice would you give to couples that are facing these issues? I think we've said some of it, but just highlight some of the things that you would advise couples facing this situation.
so off the back of what you just said, Laju, I'll just pick up on one of the points you made. Communication is very important. Like you cannot overemphasize it. Like if you guys didn't have a culture of communication, this is not the time to learn it because everyone needs to be able to speak freely about their needs, about their expectations, about their frustrations, about the pains that they are going through in this season. Because at the end of the day, if you guys have only yourselves, as like that is the reality. Like you're literally forced to become each other's best friends, even if you were not each other's best friends
Yeah.
before. Because it's only the two of you. Who do you want to cry to? Who do you want to run to? It's either you bottle up all the emotions, bottle everything in, or you share with your partner. And that's why I feel like if you do not have a culture of communication up until this point, communication is going to be something that will sustain you in the long haul. Because you need to be able to know how to express how you're feeling. You need to be able to even listening to the other person to understand where they are, to understand their pains, to understand their frustrations is very important. So the first thing is communication for me. The second thing, like I said, is that you should come in having a flexible mindset, right? Yes, you have dreams. Yes, you have goals. But like I cannot reiterate the fact enough that you will stoop to conquer. So there must be a willingness on the side of everyone else to like kind of like compromise, right? So like after a while, my husband took up a job, and it was even me that was feeling like I'm not really happy with this job that I'm doing. But in his mind, he's like, I can see the bills, Doyinsola. I can see the bills that are coming into this house every month. I cannot just continue watching you bear the whole burden. Like even if we brought millions and billions of naira money from Nigeria, the money is finishing.
Yeah.
Like as in, I can see you having to do all of these things. As in, like, I'm not blind. The bills are coming in, the tax, the house tax, car tax, this one tax, everything is
And
coming in.
it doesn't stop.
I cannot
TV
stop. At
license,
the end of the
everything.
month, it's like as you're paying, as you're getting paid, the things that are going to collect it from you are just waiting
They're
to collect.
waiting, like
They
they're
are literally
waiting.
waiting, and you just put everything on direct debit, and you just see your accounts just going boom, 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 like that. Like, do you understand? So at that point, it's like, I don't want you to. This is not a burden that I want you to bear on your own, and that's also the fact that flexibility is important.
Mm,
I'm not doing my dream job, but I'm doing what I need to do so that this family can thrive and can move through this season while I'm on my way to getting my dream job.
mm,
So it is one or both parties have to have that mindset that I might not have my dream job, but I will not be lazy. I will find something decent. I will find something profitable. I will find something that I can do in the meantime while I'm still working at my goals, while I'm still working on my dreams. Because if you don't have any reserve of funds that will be funding the other person's reality, because it might involve the person having to do like a lot of recertifications,
mhm.
taking a lot of exams, and those things are not cheap. They are very
Tell me about it.
so they are not cheap, they're very expensive. And if that is going to be your reality, where is all this money going to be coming from?
Mm,
So, like, the willingness to be able to like navigate it flexibly, like, okay, I will do this job 3 times a week, even though it is not my dream job, I will do it because I know that we need to have this sorted. And that's another thing. And then, like I said, it will take compromise because you don't want anyone feeling very disillusioned. And I think that is where the problem starts. When your partner starts to feel like I'm in this alone, nobody is supporting me. And it can even be the person that is working that starts to feel like I'm in this alone because
mm,
you're just sitting at home, you're like, maybe it's your dream that made us come to the UK. You're the
mm,
one that wanted to be a doctor in the UK and we're here. So sort us out. I'm not going to stress myself. I've applied and I'm not getting a job. I have friends that their partners had to apply for like almost one of them told me that he was applying for like 10 to 15 jobs a day. And in 7 months he still did not have any job. Do you understand? Like those are the realities, unfortunately. But once you get your foot in the door, it becomes easier for the people that are non-medical. Once you get your foot in the door, you get your first job. We
mhm,
hear that it becomes easier from then onwards, right?
mhm,
But then getting that first big break might seem like it's protracted, might seem like it takes time. But then managing your expectations along the way will really help. Because for us that we moved during COVID, just imagine that he had dreams to say that in 2 months I must have gotten this job that is earning £3,000 a month.
mm.
You can imagine that the frustration would be at another level because it was
Yeah,
not just 2 months. It became such a long time with COVID, and it has not. We're still in COVID
yeah,
times now. It has not
I
even
know.
gone away, right?
Yeah.
Do you get? So those are like important things. And at the end of the day, just realize that you guys are partners. If that word partnership just stays at the back of your mind, like we're
Mm,
partners, yeah, each other's support system. That's the only way burnout can be prevented.
true.
Because you will do the house chores together, you will do childcare together, you will pick up as in like just outdo each other in showing honor, outdo each other in showing that I hear you, outdo each other in showing that I see you.
True.
Like just if that is at the back of your mind, I think that you'll be able to weather any storm that's moving will bring your way.
Mm, mm. You already, in short, you were just spot on. You even answered the next question, like everything you said, outdoing each other, that is so key. It just shows that, that you care about the next person, like you are committed to the next person, and you're not just, it's not just, you're not being selfish, you're thinking outside, because I do understand that, for my husband, for instance, I understand the pressure he faces at work, especially working for the NHS. Now he's in his training. There's a lot of pressure on him, portfolios and all those things. He comes back tired. And you know how it is, like there are lots of patients and everything. I can also see stress. So even though I have mine also, we always try to just balance it out while I'm like, okay, he's telling me about all that he has gone through during the day. Just be mindful because it's a lot of load on him also. So the fact that I'm not just saying, oh, okay, me too, I've done a lot of things and all that, but we try to just balance out and say, oh, okay, I listen to him while he talks and says everything, and I encourage him. And then I also share mine. We're just like comforting each other basically. And we know that, okay, this space, we'll get through it and it will pass and all that. But I think one of the beautiful things of this moments that a lot of people may not realize also is that even in that weakness, even in that supposedly not perfect moment. I think it has built us a lot, like I feel like I really have a friend in my husband. I feel like I have a support system like never before, this whole period. It made me realize that, okay, if I'm down, there's somebody there to pick me up, and I think that's the beauty of it, that people should realize also it's not all tough all the time, but even in that toughness, there's something soft and beautiful being developed. So I think that's also important.
Seriously, I agree with you, Laju, because like your hearts are being wound together, like because it's like your vulnerable moments, you come, you share this, you guys are, your friendship is growing,
Yeah,
like your marriage is actually also growing
yeah,
stronger. It's not only in the high moments that our love matures.
exactly.
Even
That's it.
it's not just in the highs that our love matures. Our love matures through the lows as well, through the not so rosy moments, not so beautiful moments that we can't share with anybody else.
Yeah,
It's in those moments that our hearts are bound together more tightly. Like, I really have a friend in this person. I
yeah.
really have a support partner, a support system here. I can trust this person's heart for me. This person is looking out for me. And
Mm.
in that way, like the love matures beautifully, just the way you said it, like the way you described it is just the perfect analogy. It just matures and grows on you. And like the advantage of this is that you guys can actually become really good friends if you navigate this season well. Like your bond can be like you can almost become inseparable. Like
Mhm.
even your relationship can actually experience greater growth than it would have experienced when you were back home in Nigeria, and maybe two of you were running completely opposite lives. Like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
was doing their own thing, and then you didn't have this. And then here the way they built the houses here again, so tiny, so small, like they're literally in each other's faces every time. So yeah, absolutely. It's also a season to actually mature your love if you handle it well.
Yeah, if you handle it well. So I think we kind of answered the next question about what advice would you give to married couples planning to move abroad with their family? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, but I think we've said most of it. But for people that are like, okay, we're moving, what's that one thing that you want them to know?
Manage your expectations.
Manage your expectations. That's important. That's important.
That's just it. Just manage your expectations. Like yes, like you know the way it says like you're moving abroad and you're like, oh, it's all rosy. I'm moving to
Yeah.
the grass is greener. I'm finally getting to this green grass, and I'm going to have the time of my life. You would actually have the time of your life in terms of the fact that you're moving to an environment where systems are in place, where things
And the
work,
systems work. Yeah.
you get where things work in terms of that the quality of life is better. You'll be at you have peace of mind, but in that peace of mind you'll be paying for the peace of mind with the money that you're earning literally in a way. But then managing your expectations, realizing that the beginning may be a bit shaky, it may be a bit in terms of especially like the finances. You might not just get there and blow the blowing that they talk like blowing in for people that are watching that are not typical Nigerians. Blowing
Yeah.
means that you hit your big break. You
Yeah.
might not get there and hit your big break instantly. It might take a while, but then it will happen. It will happen. It's just a season that will pass.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And any additional words?
So don't let anyone discourage you. You can listen to this conversation and be like, oh, I'm not moving again. That sounds so horrid. That sounds so dreadful. No, you're missing the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is to open your eyes to some realities that you might not ordinarily have paid attention to.
Mm,
And just learning of the experiences of others and realizing that there are some things that you should just prepare your mind for. When you're better prepared to approach a thing, you're more likely to succeed in it. So that is why we're having this conversation. We're not having it to scare you. Me, I'm an advocate for people moving abroad. Sorry. And right now, that's the season of life that I'm in. If you want to move abroad, I will cheer you on with all that I have. But you
mhm.
also need to know the realities that it
True.
is not all rosy. It is not, you will need to do the work. And just like anything, teamwork makes the dream work. So if
Yeah.
this dream is going to work, you need to really understand what it means to work as a team, to function as a team, to partner as a team. You're not competing with your partner. No, it's
Mm,
not about who earns more pounds or who earns less. It's not about that.
mm,
Everything you are doing in this season is like you are building together. It's complementary. So you need to continue to view your efforts in that direction. Like we're complementing each other, we're supporting each other. As in, we have a common vision, we have a common goal. Her
mm,
success is my success. His success is
mm.
my. This is where you view it like that.
Yeah.
You'll be able to manage there'll be times when your partner will win, and it will now correspond with the time when you are pouring in your deepest low. when you're still questioning, like, I'm not found my footing in this environment. Meanwhile, your partner is being celebrated at work. And but if you understand that that person's win is your win as well, and it is a common vision that we're all heading towards, you'll be able to navigate the seasons better, and you'll be able to manage your mind as you go on through the seasons. But yes, you should move, and it's actually beautiful, but you just need to put in the work. Like any other thing in life, you will put in the work. So
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that, Doyin. As in, I really appreciate you. You nailed it. It was spot on. It was very insightful and helpful. And even me personally, I've learned from this conversation also. And I really, that's my desire, is that when people watch these videos, that they would also, learn from it. So yeah, learn with Laju, basically.
thank you so much for having me, Laju. And I just wanted to say again, well done on what you're doing. It's needed conversations, needed conversations. People need to hear these things. People need to keep sharing these stories, because at the end of the day, that's the only way we would say, even if it's one person that would listen to this conversation and would avoid something that would have been fatal to their marriage, would have been fatal to their relationship, then I feel like you're succeeding at it. And
Yeah.
well done. Great initiative. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having me.
Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Bye.